Hey man. Hey bro. Thanks. How's your running going? Feeling pretty good? Actually, I haven't been running all that much because my knee has really been hurting. Jesus. Jesus. Oh, really? Let's talk about it. Which part of your knee? Is it on the inside of the knee, the top of your knee, the bottom of your knee, the outside of your knee? Where's it at? It's really just been hurting like on the inside of my knee. And so I just don't know what to do about it. It's been bugging me for a couple weeks now. So is it at the beginning of your run, in the middle, or at the end? It usually hurts like kind of towards the later end of my run, right in the middle, kind of towards the end. I've only been running a couple miles, but it gets me. Okay, so check it out. Our foot is the first thing that comes into contact with the ground as we're running. And so it's engineered to absorb a lot of that shock once we hit the ground because it flattens out and spreads out. Okay, so the problem most of the time is that your foot doesn't have that intrinsic foot strength. I can talk, it's cool. That foot doesn't have the strength that it needs in order to absorb that shock, so it essentially just kind of collapses. Okay, so if you have your arch here and then it collapses, then your foot rolls inward right there, and then that starts to cause pressure up the chain and put a lot of pressure on the side of your knee. Okay, so this is what your foot is supposed to be able to do. So you're supposed to be able to lift your big toe independently of your small toes, and then you're supposed to be able to put that big toe down and then lift those big toe or those small toes independently of that big toe. And then you should be able to spread that toe out and set those toes down individually. Okay, now we're going to focus on another thing that is called the short foot technique. Okay, so essentially what's happening here is that you're using your intrinsic muscles of your foot in order to shorten your foot, just like that. Okay, so we're going to place our hand here so that you can see how much shorter my foot gets as I flex those intrinsic muscles of the foot. So my foot is still short, but I can still move those toes as I need to. Why won't my foot work, man? Your foot doesn't work because of those cushiony shoes. So you got to think that your feet aren't in contact with the ground ever. So they have no idea what they're supposed to be doing or why. And so your feet are the first instigator of torque going up your leg and into your hips. So if your feet aren't feeling the ground at least a little bit, then your hip isn't getting the signal and then it becomes late to the party. Also, why is your foot so important anyway? I just don't get it. I mean, why do we have all those like really cushiony shoes and all that stuff? Isn't that supposed to make your feet feel better? What do you mean, why are your feet important? How often do you use your feet? How often do you use your feet when you're running? All the time, right? Gah. Gah. Makes sense. So you just got to practice a lot. And so when I say a lot, I mean 5 to 10 times a day. And so that's how long it took me to get my foot figured out. It took me 5 to 10 times a day over the course of a couple months to get it figured out, and I've been doing it for years now. And so now I have pretty good control of my foot, but it's not the best, but I work on it every day, and you should too. Got it. I'll give it heck. Thanks, bro. Oh, hey, what, man? Gee, stop scaring me. Stop. Did you go to the Facebook group that I told you last week and sign up for it yet? Yes. No. So I'm going to functional mobility training online, like the Facebook group, and then it'll give me more information there. I got it. Thanks, man. You're welcome, man.